Well, hello everyone. I know it's been a while since I've put one of these out, and I keep praying that my energy levels and my strength will get to the point to where I can start doing these a whole lot more often. Time will tell. Well, here's our next one. And this one's I've titled this Words That Matter, Devil is in the Details. And here again, we'll use the same format that I've been using for a while now, which is the Merriam-Webster definitions, etymology definitions, and Black Law's definitions. And some of these are going to be real important to comprehend in a really good manner. And we'll start with league, noun 2, as in found in Merriam-Webster's. 1a, an association of nations or other political entities for a common purpose. 1b, 1. An association of persons or groups united by common interests or goals. 2. A group of sports teams that regularly play one another. And 1c, an informal alliance. Okay, league is found in etymology. Alliance, confederacy, league. League to tie or bind, to bind, to tie, bind. Originally among nations, subsequently extended to political associations and sports associations. Okay, league is found in Black's Law, a treaty of alliance between different states or parties. It may be offensive or defensive or both. It is offensive when the contracting parties agree to unite in attacking a common enemy, defensive when the parties agree to act in concert in defending each other against an enemy, and that's found in Wharton's. Next, let's look at alliance. Noun is found in Merriam-Webster's. 1a, a state of being aligned, the action of allying. B, a bond or connection between families, states, parties, or individuals. 2, an association to further the common interests of the members. 3, union by relationship in qualities, affinity. 4, a treaty of alliance. Okay, alliance that's found in etymology, a bond of marriage between ruling houses or noble families. Alliance, bond, marriage, union. Combine, unite, a general sense of combination for a common object, is from the mid-14th century, as are those of bond or treaty between rulers or nations, contracted by treaty, an aggregate of persons allied, rarely used of a combination for evil, meaning a state of being allied or connected, is from the 1670s. Okay, as found in Black's Law. In international law, a union or association of two or more states or nations formed by league or treaty for the joint prosecution of a war, offensive alliance, or for their mutual assistance in protection and repelling hostile attacks, a defensive alliance. A league or treaty by which the association is formed. The act of confederating by league or treaty for the purposes mentioned. Okay, next let's look at the word perpetual. It's an adjective that's found in Merriam-Webster's. 1a, continuing forever, everlasting. B, valid for all time. B2, holding something such as an office for life or for an unlimited time. 2, occurring continually, indefinitely long continued. Perpetual, as found as an adjective, is found in etymology. Everlasting, unceasing, existing indefinitely, continuing forever in future time. Uninterrupted, continuous, without end. Universal, permanent. Perpetuous, continuous, universal. Probably from per through and forward, hence through, root of pater, to seek, to go, aim at. Okay, and as found in Black's Law, perpetual means never ceasing, continuous, enduring, lasting, unlimited in respect of time, continuing without intermission or interval. So next, let's take a look at what a perpetual edict is. In Roman law, originally the term perpetual was merely opposed to occasional and was used to distinguish the general edicts of the praetors from the special edicts or orders which they issued excuse me in their judicial capacity. But under Hadrian, the edict was revised by the Juris Julianus and was republished as a permanent act of legislation. It was then styled perpetual in the sense of being calculated to endure in perpetuum, or until abrogated by competent authority. So, a dictum perpetuum, a perpetual edict, a compilation or system of law in 50 books digested by Julian from the praetors' edicts and the other parts of the Jus Honorarium. All the remains of it which have come down to us are the extracts of it in the digest. Okay, so next let's take a look at the word union. As found in Merriam-Webster's, is a noun. 1a, an act or instance of uniting or joining two or more things into one, such as the formation of a single political unit from two or more separate and independent units. 2, something that is made one, something formed by combining or coalition of parts or members, such as a confederation of independent individuals, such as nations or persons, for some common purpose. 2b1, a political unit constituting an organic whole formed usually from units which were previously governed separately, such as England and Scotland in 1707, and which have surrendered or delegated their principal powers to the government of the whole or to a newly created government, such as the United States in 1789. Do you get that? When we created the federal government, basically what they're saying is that we gave up, the states and commonwealths gave up their rights to actually be sovereign and turned that right over to the federal government. Okay, 2b2, the Union in U.S. history. A group of states that remained part of the United States after 11 southern states succeeded in 1860 and 1861 and formed a confederacy, the Federal Union of States, during the period of the American Civil War. Union, as in found in etymology, also a noun, action of joining one thing to another, also agreement, accord, also state of matrimony. From the Latin, oneness, unity, a uniting, a single pearl or onion. From unus, one, unique, sense of action of uniting into one political body, is attested from the 1540s, meaning group of people or states is from the 1650s. Short for trade union, it is recorded in 1833. United States political sense is attested from 1775, used especially during the Civil War in reference to the remainder of the United States after the Southern succession. Okay, next, liberty. Noun is found in Merriam-Webster's. 1, the quality or state of being free. 1a, the power to do as one pleases. 1b, freedom from physical restraint. 1c, freedom from arbitrary or despotic control. 1d, the positive enjoyment of various social, political, or economic rights and privileges. 1e, the power of choice. Okay, from etymology, also a noun, late 14th century. Free choice, freedom to do as one chooses, also freedom from the bondage of sin. Freedom, liberty, free will. Oh, civil or political freedom, condition of a free man, absence of restraint, permission, at first of persons, of communities, state of being free from arbitrary, despotic, or autocratic rule or control is by the late 15th century. The nautical sense of leave of absence is from 1758. The meaning unrestricted action, conduct, or expression is from the 1550s. Led to take liberties, go beyond the bounds of propriety. It's from the 1620s. The sense of privileges by grant is from the 14th century. Led to the sense of a person's private land, within which certain special privileges may be exercised, which yielded in the 18th century, in both England and America, a sense of a district within a county but having its own justice of the peace, and also a district adjacent to a city and in some degree under its municipal jurisdiction. Local rights, laws, taxes. Liberty has found in Black's Law. Freedom, exemption from extraneous control. Freedom from all restraints except such as are justly imposed by law. Freedom from restraint under conditions essential to the equal enjoyment of the same right by others. Freedom regulated by law. The absence of arbitrary restraint, not immunity from reasonable regulations and prohibitions imposed in the interest of the community. The power of the will to follow the dictates of its unrestricted choice, and to direct the external acts of an individual without restraint, coercion, or control from other persons. The word liberty includes and comprehends all personal rights and their enjoyment. It embraces freedom from duress. Liberty on the positive side donates the fullness of individual existence. On its negative side, it donates the necessary restraint on all which is needed to promote the greatest possible amount of liberty for each. The word liberty, as used in the state and federal constitution, means, in a negative sense, freedom from restraint, but in a positive sense, it involves the ideal of freedom secured by the imposition of restraint. And it is in this positive sense that the state, in its exercise of police powers, promotes the freedom of all by imposition upon particular persons of restraints which are deemed necessary for the general welfare. Okay, next let's look at freedom. It's a noun that's found in Merriam-Webster's. 1. The quality or state of being free, such as A. The absence of necessity, coercion, or constraint in choice of action. 1b. Liberation from slavery or restraint or from the power of another. Independence. 1c. The quality or state of being exempt or released, usually from something onerous, freedom from care. 1d. Unrestricted use. 2a. A political right. 2b. A franchise or a privilege. Okay, etymology, also a noun. Power of self-determination, state of free will, emancipation from slavery, deliverance, meaning exemption from arbitrary or despotic control. Civil liberty is from the late 14th century, meaning possession of particular privileges is from the 1570s. Similar formation in the old Frisian freedom. Okay, so it has been said by some physicians that life is a forced state. The same may be said of freedom. It requires effort. It presupposes mental and moral qualities of a high order to be generally diffused in the society where it exists. Oh, freedom is only truly freedom when it appears against the background of an artificial limitation. Okay, and then finally, freedom is found in Black's Law, the state of being free, liberty, self-determination, absence of restraint, the opposite of slavery, the power of acting in the character of a moral personality, according to the dictates of the will, without other check, hindrance, or prohibition than such as may be imposed by a just and necessary laws and duties of social life. Prevalence in the government and constitution of a country of such a system of laws and institutions as secure civil liberty to the individual citizen. Wow, that is a lot to comprehend, and I hope all of you have some idea of what they're actually telling you there. Okay, next, sovereign, a noun, as in Merriam-Webster's. 1A, one possessing or held to possess supreme political power or sovereignty. 1B, one that exercises supreme authority within a limited sphere. 1C, an acknowledged leader, arbiter. Okay, sovereign as an adjective in Merriam-Webster's. 1A, a superlative in quality. 1B, of the most exalted kind, supreme sovereign virtue. 1C, having generalized curative powers, a sovereign remedy. 1D, of an unqualified nature, unmitigated, sovereign contempt. 1E, having undisputed ascendancy, paramount. 2A, possessed of supreme power, a sovereign ruler. 2B, unlimited in extent, absolute. 2C, enjoying autonomy, independent sovereign states. Okay, as found in etymology, it's also a noun from the late 13th century. Superior, ruler, master, one who is superior to or has power over another. Sovereign, lord, ruler, noun use of the adjective meaning highest, supreme, chief. Specifically by the 13th centuries as a king or a queen, one who exercises dominion over people, a recognized supreme ruler of a realm, also of church authorities and heads of orders or houses, as well as local civic officials. Wow. Then pheasant or tyrant. And it had a whole bunch of different spellings, which aren't really important. They all have the same meanings. Okay, now here's a quote from John Adams. Should it be argued that government like this, where a sovereignty resides in the whole body of the people, is a democracy, it may be answered that the right of sovereignty in all nations is unalienable, and indivisible, and does and can reside nowhere else, but not to recur to a principle so general, the exercise as well as the right of sovereignty in Rome resided in the people, but the government was not a democracy. In America, the right of sovereignty resides undisputably in the body of people, and they have the whole property of land. And I find this very interesting. That was John Adams in defense of the constitutions, not the Constitution, but the constitutions, meaning more than one. And we'll get into that at a later date. Sovereign is found in Black's Law, a person, body, or state in which independent and supreme authority is vested, a chief ruler with supreme power, a king or other ruler with limited power. Okay, so let's look at sovereign power. As found in Merriam-Webster, sovereign has everything to do with power. It often describes a person who has supreme power or authority, such as a king or queen. God is described as sovereign in a number of Bible translations. In addition to describing ones who have power, the word sovereign also often describes power. To have sovereign power is to have the absolute power, that is, power that cannot be checked by anyone or anything. Nations and states are also sometimes described as sovereign. This means that they have power over themselves. Their government is under their own control rather than under the control of an outside authority. I hope all of you comprehend what they're telling you there, that we as a sovereign people, we hold the sovereign power. And that means that we have the power over the government. All we've got to do is claim it. Sovereign power is not found in etymology, but in Black's Law we have it as sovereign power or sovereign prerogative. That power in a state to which none other is superior or equal, and which includes all the specific powers necessary to accomplish the legitimate ends and purposes of government. Sovereign people is not found in Merriam-Webster's or etymology, either one, but in Black's Law, sovereign people are the political body consisting of the entire number and qualified electors who in their collective capacity possess the powers of sovereignty and exercise them through their chosen representatives. So there again, sovereign people and sovereign power go hand in hand, and if our chosen representatives are going outside the bounds of what our Constitution calls and allows for, then we as the sovereign people holding that sovereign power have every right to remove them from office without having to say that we need an investigation by some committee or something. Okay, just a few more to hopefully tie it together better. A commonwealth is a noun found in Merriam-Webster's. It's a nation, state, or other political unit, such as 1A, one founded on law and united by compact or tacit agreement of the people for the common good. 1B, one in which supreme authority is vested in the people. Sovereign people, sovereign power. 1C, a republic. 2, a state of the United States, used officially of Kentucky, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. 3, often capitalized, a political unit having local autonomy but voluntarily united with the United States, used officially of Puerto Rico and of the Northern Mariana Islands. 5, as capitalized, A, the English state from the death of Charles I in 1649 to the Restoration in 1660. 5B, a protectorate, as a sense 1B, government by a protector. Capitalized, the government of England from 1653 to 1659 under the Cromwells. C, the rank, office, or period of rule of a protector. 2A, the relationship of superior authority assumed by one power or state over a dependent one. B, the dependent political unit or territory in such a relationship. 6, as the capitalized version, a federal union of constituent states, used officially in Australia. 7, archaic, commonweal sense 2, archaic, commonwealth, the general welfare. Commonweal sense is basically for the common good of all. Okay, as found in etymology, it's also a noun. Commonwealth, a community, whole body of people in a state, from common plus wealth. Specifically, state with a republican or democratic form of government, from 1600s. From the 1550s, Any body of persons united by some common interest, applied specifically to the government of England in the period of 1649 to 1660, and later to self-governing former colonies under British Crown in 1917. In the United States, it forms a part of the official name, but once again, this ones that have a Commonwealth designation, but has no special significance, and that's because they're no longer strictly Commonwealths. They've been designated to be Commonwealth states, with states having precedence. Okay, Commonwealth as found in Black's Law, the public or common weal or welfare. And this cannot be regarded in a technical term of public law. Though often used in political science, it generally designates, when so employed, a republican frame of government, one in which the welfare and rights of the entire mass of people are the main consideration, rather than the privileges of a class or the will of a monarch, or it may designate the body of citizens living under such a government. Sometimes it may donate the corporate entity or government of a jural society or state, possessing powers of self-government in respect of its immediate concerns, but forming an integral part of a larger government or nation. Okay, now a rehash of one that we included in Confederation versus Federation. State, as found in Merriam-Webster's, a politically organized body of people usually occupying a definite territory, especially one that is sovereign. B, a political organization of such a body of people. C, a government or politically organized society having a particular character. A police state, the welfare state. Do you understand what they're telling you there? I hope so. It's not that hard to comprehend. 6, the operations or concerns of the government of a country. 7a, one of the constituent units of a nation having a federal government, the 50 states. 7b, states plural, the United States of America. 8, the territory of a state. Okay, etymology is also showing it as a noun, and from the 12th century, circumstances, position in society, temporary attributes of a person or thing, conditions. Position, condition, status, stature, station. A station, position, place, way of standing, posture, order, arrangement, condition. Figuratively, standing, rank, public order, community organization. This is a noun of action from the past participle stem of stare, to stand, from pi root stand. The Latin word was adopted into other modern Germanic languages, but chiefly in the political senses only. Okay, number 2, as found in etymology. Political organization of a country, supreme civil power, the government, the whole people considered as a body politic. From the 1530s, from special use of state, noun 1. This sense grew out of meaning condition of a country, with regard to the government, prosperity, etc. Condition or existence of the republic. The sense of a semi-independent political entity under a federal authority, one of the bodies politic which together make up a federal republic, is from 1774. In the British North American colonies, occasionally were called states as far back as the 1630s. Okay, starting to get real interesting, isn't it? State rights. In the United States, political assent is attested from 1798. to form states' rights is recorded by 1824. The doctrine that states retain all rights and privileges not delegated to the federal government in the Constitution in its extreme form, including power and right of sovereignty, often contrasted with ecclesiastical power in the phrase church and state. State socialism, attested from 1850 as a scheme of government favoring enlargement of state functions as the directest way to achieve socialist goals. Are you starting to see that what we think is something new today has been going on for a whole lot longer than any of us has ever really taken the time to do research on? I'm hoping some of you starting to comprehend just how long this has all been going on. Okay, one last one here. Statism, 1600, in reference to church-state matters. 1880 as the art of government. Okay, and we just saw above that the art of government is a scheme of government. By 1912, in reference to the political theory that to some degree legitimizes centralized state control over society and economy, the modern political opposite of individualism from statism. Okay, so that's where we come up with this. Everybody wanting them all want the evil, all wanting us all to be one and the same. They don't want us to think for ourselves. They don't want us to act for ourselves. They want us to all fall in line and do exactly as they tell us to. I hope there's enough woke people around the world that are paying attention and can comprehend exactly what's going on and for exactly how long it's been going on. Oh, so can you start to see the real differences between a commonwealth and a state? You know, a commonwealth, if it's properly formed, is always formed by league. A state, virtually always formed by union, turning them into one. A commonwealth government would be a government where each and every one of the commonwealths and states would have actually retained their sovereignty wholly and completely, and a centralized government would have been created that could have only acted in limited matters externally, not against us, the sovereign people. Okay, so this is a good place to stop for now. And I hope this one has really made you put on your thinking cap, even if none of the others have. Please leave comments. Also hope that these are getting more interesting for all of you. I know a lot of it is dry and not catchy. And I also know that I'm nowhere near the best presenter. But as always, if you have found this to be beneficial in any way, then please like and share across all your different social platforms. And most importantly, with family and friends in other countries, as this is a global spiritual war. Also, I hope these are helping all of you with comprehending how word magic has been used from the get-go to get the world to where we are right now. See, the words really truly are important. Let's not make the same mistakes yet again in this current war. Let's get it right this time. May Father God bless each and every one of you who have taken time from your busy day to watch this. And I thank you all, and all of you are in my prayers. God bless.